right there.
It's been a rough weekend.
Hope she can.
It's just
When I found out what happened Friday,
like,
it's been a rough
not
weekend.
to
I
say
don't
that
know what
I wanted
investigate.
to have check numbers and we were just
And I'm
signing
like,
our book knowing that we voted on it that night.
Okay, so just, you want, one of these?
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
ones?
yeah.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And I only say that because I get really cautious.
Yeah, I didn't have any words.
He might
Yeah.
have words.
Sorry.
It might be his time.
That's what I thought, that was pretty dark.
Or just photocopy it and put it in our bag or whatever.
I don't even
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
yes, either.
But those ones.
Yeah.
And there's ones that
We'll go.
I seen that one. I seen that one. Yes, I did.
For you?
I don't know. Yes. That one's for me.
That's a bad budget. Yeah.
Okay, and then down there.
I will go,
It is.
he said he was, but I will go and call him just to make sure.
How are you?
What was it? It was 21, what was the total on that? Just for my notes.
21, 8, 10, 38. What time's your doctor's appointment tomorrow?
2 o'clock.
You got any business over there earlier or no?
Other than you and I go over.
I don't know, maybe she got there to get something, who knows?
And you get that banking business taken.
I saw her light on the console, so.
Yeah, there's no, I can go there anytime in the village.
So
You want me just to meet you there?
They come in
I'm
with
not gonna take a
100,000
bunch of
basically, is
stuff
what they
like
come up with. I don't know what I heard.
You gotta be careful where that place is at.
Can't start early, it's officially news, they're supposed to start right at 7.
Oh, yeah, we just.
Who's it in?
Yeah, we got here early, we needed to see.
Oh.
Something wasn't needed.
Pass the words around.
Way up.
Yeah, we
Well,
went
see,
to
that's
Glasgow.
a correction that
We all
makes
just
sense.
Before you get to 30
Yeah.
shoppers.
Oh,
It's
okay.
up there.
Oh, there's- oh, I thought that was off the grants, because I love all that. Oh, okay. So,
It's way
so they still have a grant going?
So we, well, next week,
Come in the
we played,
Yes.
Funny Good and Bridger
Yeah,
this
it is
weekend,
on
home,
the side.
and then we start the town next week.
Yeah.
If you're going,
Oh, Plenty
it's,
Good.
really about
Bridger.
I mean, I don't know
They
this.
do, they have some talent. Bridger's not doing so
Oh,
well.
aren't they really?
Shaving garage or something. in there.
Oh, I think it's Bridger.
Is it Bridger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bridger.
Well, I'll meet you there
So,
But Robert's,
7 o'clock.
Roberts is 3,
Three,
Authority's 4,
Robert's
we're
is
5,
6,
3.6.
yeah.
And on girls, just one girl.
Yeah, Robert's is one girl, and then on the girls team, we only have one girl, so we
Did she
send her
give
to
you
Bridger.
Yeah, she said she was good with it.
Did we watch one?
I was like, man, I should have seen the gander fly.
Yeah.
But she is good.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she
Well,
said
she
she
came
saw
from
you
a
guys.
double A
Oh,
school,
yeah, sure.
you know, so.
So I'll have all the packets ready on
She graduated this
Thursday.
year, that's why Robert.
My best, one of my really good friends died of influenza B.
Okay.
On Friday.
I'll let her know.
Yeah.
So we're happy.
She is.
Going around back.
I like that kind of
Yeah.
with.
I had a brother-in-law that died from it years ago. 35.
Go right ahead.
She was 27. Yeah,
No,
left
that's
3
what
kids
we-
behind.
Hi, I'm sitting in the lobby chair, so if I fall out.
He's,
It was something I definitely wasn't expecting.
Looks like you were bartending.
Yeah, we're short today, everybody's sick.
And
Welcome to our boys basketball team.
Yeah, exactly, it's brutal right now.
and the influenza that's why you're out.
Okay, okay, no, that's what I wondered, was it grant or
That's
was
what
it?
that's what
That's what we were just following.
I haven't got caught yet. Yeah, that's good.
It's not fun. You just almost can't get everybody. There, you can, and then you just have to spin it.
Crazy timing, so that's good. You know, or use it, I did it.
So the 307 number that you're talking with
You
is,
have the stainless
have you
steel
heard
files.
from Cody that where he had a sister that did like country western stuff?
We
They
do.
were together, but then one sister gave up on him.
Don't run off. Not fast.
It's so, I
She's actually not sure.
I know, right? A little hairy, but it's alright.
He was planning on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, usually they're checking. You know, it's like, it's right up front.
Yeah, and he kind of wrapped his hips.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
Really?
So we're gonna have her after the Super Bowl, that'll be like some live music after. I figured, yeah, but that's what she told her dad, that's what they're out getting gigs for. That's when I seen that, I thought he was gonna call me, I was like, oh, I'll just call him back after this.
Really?
gotta figure out what pocket it's in.
Well, it can, yeah.
That's one thing I'm trying to do in my phone number.
Yeah.
I toast on water and it's not, I'm not sick.
Phone number and email, I still have my original one.
What is that? What is that?
You wanna give it, 'cause if I
No.
some people say I go straight to sleep.
Hey, I got
Hey, how bad was the train ride? Was it our side or his side?
Never know.
It's hers? Oh, I don't know. I don't know where the meter is, but I know where it's leaking out. And it's where it was froze out.
What's her name? Cheryl?
You need to get a hold of Sharon's sister again, or Sherry, or whatever the heck. Crazy cat lady.
Oh, okay.
Because it's flooded the whole underneath of that house.
Oh, they got a hold of me, asked if I knew where it was, I was like, you hate when I call, because every time I call, it's bad news.
Oh, it was not nice. There's a lot of water under there. But it's off and it ain't leaking now. And I told him until it dries up, I don't know. Get a plumber. Yeah. I feel like the downside is her meter is under the house there, but it's after it's out of the ground. I mean,
Where was it? From the trailer house itself? So it busted the water line.
it was close to the where the meter would be, but I would think it'd be on her side. I would think. But it's close to the meter, because it's close to the back of where it is.
That one down there too.
No, not at all. That's what I mean. It'd be like me saying, come in my house and fix my basement because my meter
I
broke.
think is if we.
It's under the house. You know, if we're responsible for up to the meter,
Somebody wants them on.
it could bust at the meter and flood my basement. Now the town's responsible for my house.
We had.
Mine used to bust in the house before the meter,
Yeah.
and I just had to come down and turn it off. I always push it. Number one, nobody wants to crawl in my
Trust me when I say nobody wants to crawl under that house over there either.
Oh, mine's horrible.
Yeah.
And mine can come down and turn it off.
What are you doing?
That's
We need to get in our because I have an incident happen here. Before they started working up here.
Okay.
And I was headed down, and our California, we were and the power line had come down. And I'm trying, I'm calling here, no answer, and I only have like a horse's number. I'm trying to get hold of somebody, you know, to have like, 4 hours a day. Sawhorses out there.
Or something.
Yeah, or something,
Block the
because,
road up.
and I'm needing to get to work.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, and I stayed, and then J.C. Lowry was over there. Yeah, here lays this power line, and I'm on the phone, calling everybody, don't come down the road.
Yeah, right. That's, I can't even try to find it. Especially if it's live house.
It was terrible, yeah, but I was, I mean, I was like, well, and I hopped out, J.C. Lowry is fixing on turning right there, and I hopped out of my car, and I'm waving at her, and I'm like, no.
That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here to keep us moving? Yeah, that's right.
Pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. A special thank you to, welcome to Mrs. Hickok, the superintendent of the schools, and Christian Bowens as board chair, she's here, and Brandy Paw from, is it secretary or?
District clerk.
Clerk, okay, as a clerk. Thank you for being here, appreciate it, because this is kind of a, it's a good thing. We're going through our budget process and we come across some monies that actually belongs to the school. It was given to us by FEMA, and we had basically had it in an account where we weren't aware of. So, in order to make that right, we called a meeting tonight to authorize that money, which is $10,185.67 that FEMA gave us to give that to the school. Our options are, we either give it to the school or we give it back to the federal government.
Wow.
So,
Give that.
what do we have here for discussion?
There is no discussion.
There is
There's
no
no
discussion.
discussion. I move that we write a check for $10,185.67 to give to the Fromberg School.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to give this money to the Fromberg School. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. So at this time, I would like to present a check to the school, to whoever would like to, Mrs. Pa.
Thank you.
Does all my books.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, do we have any public comment? Yes.
So I'm Kristen Bowens, I'm the chairwoman of the school board in Fromberg, been on the school board for 10 years now. It was my understanding, I saw a claim to Fromberg schools on a special agenda. So I text my superintendent, because she's responsible to the school board, so is my district clerk, Brandy. I asked her, I said, what's that claim to the school? Because I knew nothing about it. Tim, she told me you approached her on Friday
Yes.
after school and asked for that money to return, for the school to donate back to the town. Which I'm pretty appalled by, let me finish, I get 3 minutes. I am appalled by because I'm not just responsible as a school board member, as the chairwoman, I'm not responsible just for the town of Fromberg. I'm responsible for the Fromberg School District voting. That district line cuts off at the cemetery at Rockville, and our district line cuts off at the rest area up here by Bridger. I'm responsible to these farmers also. And if I'm gonna go and pass a mill levy this year, because that's the plan, Fromberg has not passed a mill levy for 12 years since we put our new boiler system in. And if I go and pass a mill levy and the local farmers catch wind, or the town of Edgar catch wind that I donated $10,000 back to the town of Fromberg, they'll deny our mill levy, because obviously we have money. Yes, we live budget to budget. We have certain budgets we can work in, certain budgets where we can move money around. Our school had a lot of damage done to it during the flood. And we had attorney costs on top of it because of the 2 volunteers who were paid out by the town of Fromberg calling the Billings Gazette and having us slammed on the front page because we did a 14-day notice to vacate. You and I both signed off on this, Tim. We decided in the June 23rd, 2022 school board meeting that there needed to be a notice to vacate so we could get on with our school year, so our kids would have normalcy coming back from a flood. We had damage to our gym floor, that's why, and we had wages. Jeremy, who was our maintenance man, his own house flooded, and he was up at the school dealing with the flood, the relief shelter, because he was our maintenance man, plus trying to take care of his own home. Our art teacher was up there dealing with things. Her whole place flooded. And so I'm talking about wages of staff, and we're still enduring the costs. Thank God for the Hickok family, and thank God for Tammy for donating the paint to repaint our gym, and Tammy donating the supplies, and we're paying Tammy to do it. It's coming out of our costs to the school district. We had to replace our washer and dryer up in the gym, and of course we use a Maytag Queen Speed, whatever, because it's the gym and we gotta wash uniforms and stuff. We had a huge hole, dent in our floor. Half of our stage was broke that we had to fix. And thank God Jeremy is equipped to do all that stuff. But then I had to pay my janitor at that time that was doing the gym to go and clean every day and put aside the summer projects that we do every year. And so, I mean, we were up to close to $14,000. Our utility bill increased by $2,500. This, our electric bill that month. Our average electric for the whole school is like $4,200 a month.
Yep.
And we ended up paying $6,500 that month in electric bill. So, I mean, we endured a lot, the school did. And what chaps my butt, to be honest with you, is attorney costs. $700 to an attorney to write a letter that came from our new superintendent, Dennis Skirke, at the time, because we were awful people. The Fromberg School Board was awful people for making the citizens get out of our gym so we could get football practice started and get our kids back into a normal school. And so I should not have to talk to Jeff and Kyle on a Sunday morning at 6:30 in the morning because we hit the front page of the Billings Gazette. So you gotta think about those things. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your comments. I would say I have got an education about the budget from the school. Your superintendent was kind enough to educate me on how much of the budget goes to wages and how much you actually do. But we're trying to, as a town, come up with money so we can fix our water system. Or fix down there for the river.
I'm gonna be honest with you, there's grant money.
But
Apply for grant money. That's how we got the football field lights. Robert's never had football field lights. Grants. That's how we pay for our principal in our elementary and our school counselors through grant money.
that's what we're working on. Yes. But no, I am glad that we've got it. I'm glad that we can give it to you, and I'm glad that you can use it. You know, as a town, you know, we could have also used it, but I'm glad that you can. So, that's just the way it kind of works. I had to ask.
I don't think that you're giving it to them. I think that that is something that they lost and it's being repaid from FEMA to the school.
That
Town of
is what it-
Fromberg is not giving that money to the school. That is their bill for what damages.
Excuse me, have you got, what's your name?
Tammy Lynn. I'm sorry, it just makes me mad, Tim, the way you're saying that.
Well,
That's
it's-
baloney.
I'm just glad that they can get the money.
But
that
you're
they
not
can.
giving it to them. They presented a bill to you as the town of Fromberg.
Yes.
Actually, what had happened was our previous superintendent filed a claim with FEMA. FEMA came to our school and assessed all the damage.
Yes.
That money went to you and was ear tagged as Fromberg School District. So it actually it wasn't supposed to go into your guys'
Why
bank
would
at all.
FEMA, I'm sorry.
County Commissioner
FEMA.
Commissioner Miller called me when I was on the phone and said, Kristen, there's this application that your superintendent needs to do since you're on the road for work, because I work out of town for work. And said, you need to get it done ASAP, get your clerk to do a bill, you know, and I'm like, well, we can't go back and figure out wages and stuff, we haven't seen all of our bills yet, what we paid. So we just did a rough estimate, Brandy did a rough estimate for us, Dennis applied, FEMA came and said, and Commissioner Miller could quote me on this probably, is that he's like, it will go to the town, FEMA will reimburse the town, it'll be ear tagged for the Fromberg school, and the town of Fromberg will write the check to Fromberg Public Schools. And that
that's
is your
the-
guys' money for having the shelter in place
And
at the
that's
school.
what we have done.
Yeah. But how long ago? How long has that money been sitting? And it took a DES investigation, audit to find it? Cause you told my superintendent, Tim, that your clerk found it. And
Yeah.
that's a
She
lie. DES did an audit and they found it.
Well, they did not find receipt. It wasn't until our clerk got into it and looking for it to figure out where it was at. Regardless of that, you've got it.
I just want
And
you to
I'm
be
just-
responsible to these
I'm
citizens
just
of the town.
glad that you're happy that you're getting it.
Well, yeah.
So,
And Tim, all I'm asking is you to be responsible to the town of Fromberg. I'm responsible to all the taxpayers in the Fromberg School District.
yes,
I'm responsible. The superintendent's responsible to the board. The district clerk is responsible to the board, not responsible. Jennifer makes recommendations to the board, but we have the final say. The school board does. And I'm responsible to this whole Fromberg School District, not just the town of Fromberg,
Yeah.
like you are. And I want you
Well-
to be honest with your citizens.
yeah, that's why the
It's
council had to
depressing.
vote on this tonight.
Yeah, I'm depressed, Tim, because I grew up here. I've been here for 42 years. I went to school in Fromberg. It's my heart and soul, that school district. And the town and the school need to get along. We need to repair this
Oh,
town
yeah,
together.
I agree. That's why I'm happy the town is able to find
Raise your
this
hand.
and get it to you.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that,
Short members too. Didn't have any meetings.
They had meetings, they had a quorum of 3.
I came to one meeting, I recall.
Have you got,
I'm coming up
Did
to the
another one
podium.
Bad mouth by you, Tim.
Alright, my name's Carol Hergenreiter. I have 2 questions for the mayor. One is, when was that check originally issued to this town?
I do not know.
Okay.
I'd have to
Number
ask.
2. What, Harley? What date was it issued?
It was January 26th of 2022.
2022? Okay.
Yes.
Second question, when that check was issued to you, where's there?
23.
Okay, was there an itemized statement where the allocation of those funds was supposed to go?
Not that I found.
If it was earmarked for the school, it would have came with an itemized statement saying this is what it's for. To the council. Nope, my time. To the council. The only reason why this was caught was because of a financial audit of DES. They found that a check had not been cashed. They had to reach out to our clerk to find out where that had been. Our annual account reviews are not intended to catch an accounting error of this magnitude. And with the bookkeeping that this town has had in the last 14 years or more, I think that the council, this administration, Tim has nothing to do with it, it's your right as a council to ask for a financial account review or a forensic audit of our town's accounts. And as a new administration, with this big of an accounting error, it would be highly recommended. Here's what I'm going to tell you for the council's information, since our mayor won't. As a local government, you are required to adhere to Governmental Account Standard Board, the GASB, that uses GAAP, which is General Accepted Accounting Principles. Any departure from GASB standard in local government financial reports must be noted. Failure to comply with GASB standards could result in bond rating downgrades, higher costs to borrow, and or a denial of market assets to long-term funding. If you continue with the spending that you have right now without an account review, a formal account audit, you're risking the jeopardy of our financial future security. Okay, number 1. Number 2, in terms of asking the school back for that money, Mr. Mayor, that is appalling. It does not matter that we have wells that we need to protect. That should come from our city funding. That check was earmarked for the school. Not only are you asking for that money back, you are jeopardizing the future of our school district. And when a school leaves a town, you want to talk about dead, that's dead.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Good job, Carol. Good job.
As far as a forensic audit, I asked for one, I believe it was last year. I believe they're about $15,000 is what I think that they are. And it would be nice to have something like that. It really would.
You can find the funding for it, Tim. You're the one who's spending
We-
recklessly.
That is up to the council. So we will look at it. And you will make a note to see about a bid for an audit. And then we can look at it. I personally would like to see it. I'd like to see us go back 10 years,
20.
20 years. I would much rather see our ordinances taken care of, but anyway, that's a different story. Do we have any other comments? Okay,
Move to adjourn first meeting.
I'll second it.
have a motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Does anybody need a break so that we can go into the second meeting?
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey Brandon, congratulations.
Thank you. Hmm? Oh.
You guys ready to go ahead and start? Okay, we will start our second meeting, special town council meeting at 7:15. Update on hardening of the riverbank. I was over at the conservation office in Stillwater County this morning. They did get the grant. It was applied to a lot of the administrative fees, which brought the amount of money that we have to come up with to $21,810.38. I took a check over to them today and brought back the $50,000 check, and it has been voided. So, we owe $21,810.38. So it's kind of up to how you guys would like to break that down and come up with that money to put back into our budget. Is that something you guys would like to study? Or do you have any ideas or plans to come up with? It's taken care of. Now, she said, when I was over there and gave her this money, that money will go immediately into their accounts, which, Army Corps has been waiting for. So Army Corps will sign off on this tomorrow. And then, I believe the only thing left would be a floodplain permit, which she said they are currently working on, but she said that there didn't appear to be any problems with getting it, and that they might be able to start work as early as next week. So, pending any other problems or issues with it, then that's where we can start. But timeline for us to come up with a plan on how we're gonna pay this back it's not critical that we get it right now.
No, and it looks like me and Mike did the figures, $88 total for each house.
It came down to, when we originally started this with the $50,000, it was gonna be $201 per hookup, regardless of the funds. Now, once, with this money, per household, per hookup. I just went with hookups, because we have 249 hookups. So with doing that now, it now drops it down to $88.88 per household or hookup.
And if you take that $88 and divide it by 12, if those that won't pay it on a monthly
I didn't go back.
deal, that would,
Less than $8 a month.
That'd be $7.41 a month.
now, we do have individuals that have committed to donating funds to this. Is that something that you guys would look at putting that into a kitty, a special account?
I have a question, because Harley explained this to me the other day, that
Okay.
if you put it into, if you walk into the town and you give them a check for $200, am I correct on this, Harley? It goes into the big pot It does not go to an individual because you cannot, because we're not divided out on low income. The only way you could do it yourself is to know that somebody was in a hardship and say, I choose to pay for somebody. So those individuals that did bring in money, were they explained this to? Or,
I've only gotten a donation from one lady
okay,
so far, and I did explain it to her.
okay, and she was fine with it coming off the top or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Mhm.
I don't want somebody coming in here and paying, thinking it's gonna go to low income and then being mad because it didn't. They have to designate for that. And I think we need to make that very clear to those individuals that want to.
If you wanna go in and pay for
And
it,
that's
you have to.
part of this whole process, because anything we do with that, we have to have a resolution of intent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we have to have a resolution, but all that, we have to have all the figures in the resolutions before we can do that.
And that's fine, I think but we have to be.
It has to be very plain, very well written out, so.
Something that was also brought to my attention from, what was the guy that came today, Diaz?
Dennis?
Dennis.
Yeah.
Is that we could also just do a mill levy, because we are getting ready to do a rate change for our water and sewer in June or July. And so do we really wanna hit our townspeople with 2 rate changes within 6 months?
What are you looking at? We don't even have a clue what we're looking at for a rate change.
Not right now, just because Nate from Bond Council with Great West is getting those figures ready and doing research and stuff. So we don't have exact figures yet, but that is something that is coming up.
It's for the sewer project that we have going. We
Yeah.
have to borrow about $130,000 for our share of the sewer project.
Okay, but are we changing the rates on the water?
Yes.
Okay,
It will
because
be
he wasn't sure the last time he thought they
Yeah,
would.
the last
Yeah.
time he thought he didn't know if we would have to change the rates or not, they were gonna invest in.
He was sure on the,
Yes,
pretty sure
but
on the
he's
sewer, but
pretty sure on the sewer,
That's why, you
and
know.
he's thinking more than likely we
On
will
the
just
water,
have,
okay.
yes.
Do we wanna maybe wait until we get those figures? I mean, it's,
We definitely.
well, no, because this one's only a year. And most people, I don't know, I would like some input from you guys. I mean, I guess if it comes out to $88 for me, I'm running you a check and going, here's my 88, it's done. You know,
And something that we also need to take into account is that even when we get to that cap of the $21,810.38, it doesn't cap off. So once we reach that, it doesn't just end. We still have to collect that money
if
for
we
the
do
full
it,
year.
if we do this
For
for
a year for a rate change?
if we do this, where we're talking about, which would be $741 a month. If people come in and so choose to do the $741 a month, in 4 months, we hit the 21,810, they still have to pay that $741 for a year.
So you need to make that very apparent in the letter that you issue, which is
That's-
part of
and
the
that's-
Montana
that's-
annotated
Mhm.
code. You do
Yeah,
have to
that's why
issue
we're
a
saying
letter
it, because
to.
originally that was what
Yes.
our plan was, is once we
Yeah.
hit the cap, we could just stop it,
You-
but we can't.
Make that very apparent, and if you guys can, if there's a way for those individuals, because you're looking at a